How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Mojo Group. Mike here. Beautiful sunny day here in the state of Georgia. And on popular request, I've got an awesome plane for you today. We're going to check out the Mooney M20C. Stay tuned. The Mooney M20, man, Mooney it's a lovely story with this airplane brand, but it's also a sad story because this is such a staple in the pilot community. And this plane, this particular model, is one of the best entry-level airplanes you can get into. And I say entry with a caution because, as you can see, this is a complex aircraft. But the landing gear mechanics are simpler than what you usually get because it's manually actuated, which I'll show you in the interior. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Michael. I appreciate you tuning in. I know I've been accused more recently, right, for showing you airplanes that are a lot more expensive. But guys, I'll be very honest with you. It's hard to find an airplane that's cheap these days. Airplanes and cheap just doesn't match anymore. What I will say, and what I find very unique about Mooney's, just so you know, is this tail right here. Hardly will you see any other airplane that's shaped this way. You can see the tail. You've got that slant right there. Anytime you see a low-wing airplane that's much lower to the ground, right, and you see this tail, know that it's a Mooney, more particularly a Mooney M20. And as I said, this airplane company, it's been plagued over the years. It's had different owners, exchange. And I do think it's a sad story that Mooney didn't capitalize on the next airplane to build. They kept trying to compete with the Cirruses of the world, and that hasn't gone too well. But anyway, let's get back to this airplane, because this plane, guys, it is beautiful. You've got this gorgeous red and white airplane, and I actually just talked to the owner, which you get to meet in a little bit. But right here, you've got this 1965 Mooney M20C. Like I said, it is a complex airplane, but as you know, it's also got a bulletproof Lycoming 360 engine. And this plane is by far one of the most economical airplanes to operate, and I'll tell you why. So you see here, you've got the hard-tip propeller, 2 blades, and like I said, you have a Lycoming engine in there. But this plane, you lean it nicely, you're burning only 7 to 8 gallons of fuel per hour. That's one of the selling points of a Mooney. One thing you will notice, like a lot of airplanes during this era, you don't have a door right here. You've got only one door to get in, which will do that actually. And while we get inside also, I'm gonna show you why this airplane is not your everyday Mooney. The owner is taking really good care of it, and you'll see some of the nice equipment in there. One thing I also appreciate about Mooney, the height to the ground level on this thing, it's low. I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, but for those with knee problems, it's easy to get in and out. So you literally just step in, right? 1, 2, and you're in. And you open this nice door, and voila, here we are in the wonderful vintage cabin of the Mooney M20. Okay, so you see here, a lot of what's in here is still analog, but you see right here, you've got the Aspen 1000, and this Aspen 1000 gives you a nice digital display for your flight instrument. This airplane is well equipped. You've got an autopilot, you see there, the King, the Bendix King. Okay, you've got radios in here. So this plane is nicely equipped. You can fly it in IFR or IMC. Let me get in and show you more of the goodies. Actually, before I do, let's take a roll back there. It is quite cozy in here, and this is a 4-place airplane. Depending on how much load you carry, you may have to trade between people and fuel. It does come with your standard yokes, and you've got your rudder pedals down there. But this is my favorite part of the Mooney, the bar, the Johnson bar. Let me get in and show you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am now well seated in the Mooney M20. Guys, I've checked out a different variation of this airplane in the past. If you haven't seen that video, here it is for you to check out. I can tell you, again, if you've watched any of my videos, it's so important to me that the comfort for the pilot and or passenger is all in here. So you can buy an airplane or fly an airplane for all the wonderful performance, but if it feels like a coffin or it's not comfortable for a long cross-country flight, then it kind of defeats the purpose. And I can tell you right now, as I'm sitting, this airplane is lower, so the seats are adjustable, and it's very similar to your car seat. So there's a, I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna turn the camera upside down, but there's a bar you pull, and then you can adjust the seat. Right now it's pushed all the way to the back, and as I said, it is a cozy cabin. You can't carry passengers in this airplane. With full fuel, you're looking at a little over 600 pounds, about 628 or so pounds of load that you can carry. So you can seat three American adults comfortably in this airplane with full fuel. But while I'm in here, let me show you the goodies one more time. As I said, you have mostly analog. Keep in mind, this is a 1965 airplane. And honestly, for the age of the airplane, it looks very well taken care of. Okay, if we start from this end, see the owner upgraded here to the Aspen, and you got a nice digital display here. You do have your backup analog. You've got the Bendix King. This airplane is well equipped. You can fly instrument in it. And you see, I always enjoy looking at these because again, you either have bars that you pull back and forth, or you have these are vintage, and a lot of new modern or home-built airplanes still has these in them. As you can see, you've got 3 levers: throttle, mixture, propeller. So it tells you this is a constant speed prop airplane, so you can adjust the blade angle. Now my favorite part, like I said, is this guy right here. Okay, so if you ever wanted to get your complex endorsement, the Mooney is a perfect platform to do so. But what's great about this Johnson bar is that having failure in flight or having a bad landing almost doesn't exist, because this is actuated by your hand, right? It's not electronically controlled. So really, to actuate this, you will pull this bar down and then down the other way. So it's a very easy airplane to fly in that aspect. And I think it's also a matter of safety. Okay, if you are flying another airplane, you usually have to hit a button, and unfortunately sometimes you've had a failure with that system where now you have to land on the belly of the airplane. The chances of a Mooney M20 landing on its belly is little to none, and that's because of this Johnson bar right here. So I will always praise this invention. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to talk about while I'm in here is what's right next to the Johnson bar, and that is your flaps. As I said, it's all mechanical in here. You're not really dependent on any electronic system to control this as well. So to actuate your flap, you manually push down or pull up, which again can avoid failures because you're controlling it. You're not waiting for an electronic unit to do 1, 2, 3, right? You however much flaps you need, you can just do that. You usually will release this lever right here, and then you can push or pull. And I think that's beautiful. Again, for older airplane, I think this plane can help build good habits for a pilot. And let me turn the camera around. What I honestly love about the Mooney, like I said, is one, the fact that it serves several missions, but it is the perfect entry and intermediate airplane for any pilot. And as a matter of fact, the owner for this airplane is looking for a partner, someone to partner with him. He wanted to sell it, but he loved the airplane so much that now he's looking to take on a partner. And if you're interested in that, just his email is on the screen and or look in the video description. And of course, if you're looking to get your pilot's license, look up Flight Academy. Our next class starts later this month. If you don't catch that class, we have a class starting in January of 2026 that you can opt into, and our programs are accelerated. We also fly much newer and much modern airplane that has a parachute on board. For more information, just check out lookupflightacademy.com. Again, that's lookupflightacademy.com. And if you call in, ask for the Mojo Grip discount, because I will give discounts to anyone who's watching my videos. All right, now let's get out of this thing, and I'll round it up and share some performance numbers with you. So again, stepping out of the Mooney, this is one of the easiest airplanes to get in and out of. You can see I'm standing on the platform. You have a handle here you would grab on, but really you can just step. Obviously you see no stepping on the flaps. You just step right down because it's so low to the ground. All right, now let's share some numbers. So why buy or fly a Mooney? As I said, this plane has got the bulletproof engine and the Lycoming, and this plane is also very, very fuel efficient for its age, by the way. So you're flying between 5,000, 8,000 feet. That's the sweet spot for a Mooney M20. And at that, you can power down 60% and you're burning only 7 to 8 gallons of fuel per hour. And you're moving between 120 and 130 knots true. You can't get that really with any other airplane during this era. And I know part of it is because of the design. Obviously, you would have had those wheels tucked in, so less drag, and you're moving through the air much smoother. If you're interested in this airplane, I would say price-wise, you're looking at $80,000 to $90,000 for an airplane that's well equipped like this. Also has low time on the engine. You've got about 400 hours on this engine. You might find a higher timed engine at a lower price. I remember when these airplanes used to cost $35,000. Unfortunately, the market has just gone crazy. So to find a great deal, you'd really have to look. But I would budget between $70,000, $80,000, or $90,000 for a nice and well-maintained M20 Mooney. And of course, you can search the web or check out our own platform at avion.com. Anyway, that's my spiel on the Mooney M20C. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. Thank you all so much for spending time with me. Consider becoming a Patreon. The link is in the description. I really appreciate the support, guys. And subscribe if this is your first time. And I will catch you on the next video. Peace.